going on, you guys? How you guys doing? Dogg, Anti-Imperial the Chill here. That's my artist name. I'm a recording artist. One name, three personalities. Dogg, Anti-Imperial the Chill. Dogg is kind of like a thug. He's a little bit gangster. He's sexually explicit, but you can't take Dogg seriously. He doesn't take himself seriously. He's a nerd. He's a dork and things like that. That is Dogg. Who is that? Who is that? God Blackson. What's going on? GOTBLVCKSN. I see you. It's all good. GOTBLVCKSN. It's all good. Who is that? Who's that? Ali Bauti. What's going on? ALIABBOUTI. I see you. It's all good. That's Dogg, you guys. The second term is Anti-Imperial. Anti-Imperial is more of in touch with who I truly am. That's why Anti-Imperial is in the center. Dogg, Anti-Imperial, the Chill. Anti-Imperial is all about upliftment, international political science, micro and macroeconomics, world history, geographical studies, philosophy, psychology, sociology, physiology, and things like that. That is Anti-Imperial. And the last term is the Chill. And the Chill is a hopeless romantic, all about falling in love, raising a family, and things like that. And that's who I am, you guys. This right here is called In My Mind. I know I should have my hat on. I gotta find my hat. I think it's like over here somewhere. I should have my hat on. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta find it. This is In My Mind. This is In My Mind right now. In my mind, you guys, we call it In My Mind because we talk about the latest situations going on around the world, the latest news and things like that around the world, just things that I have on my mind, in my mind. It's all good, so we call this In My Mind, you guys. Here on In My Mind, you guys, we have one rule and one rule only, and that is that you guys remain respectful of the environment of In My Mind, and you guys remain respectful of one another. We can agree, we can disagree. Just remain respectful of the environment of In My Mind and remain respectful of one another. I wouldn't want to block anybody here, but I will if I have to. But I never have to do that with you guys because we're always a big happy family and we always remain respectful. All right, let's get into it. So the whole thing with Will and Jada, so I'm calling this Relationships Part 1, Will and Jada. So you guys know the whole thing's been going on with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, where August Alsina came out and said that he had, relations, a whole affair, relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith, and for a while, for a few weeks, Jada Pinkett Smith they were kind of quiet about it and things like that. Then recently came out and they admitted to it that she had a sexual affair, and not only a sexual affair, but a full-blown affair Jada Pinkett Smith did with August Alsina. First thing I want to say about that, you guys, is August Alsina talks too much. So my first piece of advice is that anybody in the future that wants to mess with August Alsina, you guys need to make August Alsina sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, because anything that he does with you, he's definitely going to flip out one day and come out and be talking to other people about it. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that, first of all, Shadeeeslim, I see you, sister. Make sure, first of all, that August Alsina is signing an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, before you deal with him in any type of way. That's the first thing you guys need to do, whoever gets involved with August Alsina. You know what I'm saying? So Shadeeeslim, oh my God, are we gonna bring in Shadeeeslim? No. The shady one. where we? Oh Lord, Shadeeeslim. Oh, hold up now. Hold up now, Shadeeeslim. We didn't think she'd be back, but she's back, y'all. What's going on, sister?
What's going on?
You good? You chilling?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah.
You safe? Hey, you guys, if Shadeeeslim happens to have to leave us all of a sudden, we gonna say we love her regardless. We just want her safety. Shadeeeslim in the building.
Okay, see, you call me Shady, and then you be starting with me. So then when I get on you be like, oh, there she goes. She getting all Shady.
Y'all know I love Shadeeeslim. Y'all know I love Shady. All right, so we were talking about the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith thing, right? So first thing I said was, so we all know that, first August Alsina came out and that he said that he had this relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. It was a full-blown affair and things like that. And of course, for the first few weeks or whatever, or for a few weeks, the whole Smith family was kind of silent about it. they didn't really like give anything or whatever. And then recently they came out on the Red Table Talk, and she admitted to the whole situation. Sexual, emotional, mental, I guess all type of connections going on there. So the first thing I was saying right before you came on was, the first thing I got out of this was anybody mentioned with August Alsina, they need to make him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, because he talks so dang much. you never know when August Alsina gonna flip out about y'all relationship. He might.
Yeah, man. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
He do the flip out at any moment.
If you're gonna get in an entanglement, really.
If you're gonna get in an entanglement with August Alsina, you need to bring your lawyers in and make sure that he signs some paperwork that says that later on he can't come back out and just tell all y'all business.
Ever. Like, don't put a time limit, like, ever.
No time limit. He about to flip out when he's 99 years old. He just might flip out one day. He just might wake up out of his bed when he's 99 years old and be like, God damn it. Y'all know what I did to that hoe? Y'all know what I did to her back then? Back in 2020?
Never, like, not 20 years, not 25, no.
Like forever.
Like, never, ever. Not even on your deathbed. Like, for him, you got to highlight that part.
Because his children might come out and say something. You never know. It might be in the blood. They just be ratting. They just be talking over there. All them folks over there on his side just be talking. Hell no. But what's crazy about it is, I know that Will Smith, first of all, has to be embarrassed about it because it's done publicly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when things happen with affairs and things like that, people feel bad anyway. But when it's like now out in the open, oh my Lord, that's even crazier.
I don't. It is embarrassing, but he had, like, before she even started saying anything, he had to say, like, I was done with you, like, I was done, I didn't care, like, pretty much trying to say, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like she was sneaking around and then she just played me. Like, no, I didn't want to have anything to do with her. If we were done, we think we were going to get back together. So that's how he kind of tried to balance it. Like, you know, y'all can say what you want, but I wasn't messing with her anyway.
Yeah, we was on a break, so it's not like, you know, it's not like egg on my face. You know what I'm saying? We was on a break, so like, you're right. That's how he's kind of like, you know, at least explaining it away in his mind. Plus, I think that he because from what I gathered from the whole situation was that he's also done some stuff for himself in the past.
That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Like, he wasn't really super clear though, Shadeeeslim. I don't know what's going on with that. What you think about that?
Well, that's what I want to know, because it's like towards the end, he was like, I got to get you back. And she's like, well, you got me back, like, several times. And he was like, no, I still got you. So I want to know, first of all,
she was like, you already got me back. She was like, I was getting you back.
Okay. So first thing I want to know is, why was he done with her in first place? For August Alsina to be able, for her to be in that relationship.
Shadeeeslim, aka Superstar 617. This is why I love her. Her mind, because let me say, and what's today's date over there? What's today's date over there in the U.S.? Today's date was the 12th.
The 12th, yeah.
Sunday, July 12th. Beautiful Jewel, I see you, sister. Sunday, July 12th. Up until today, I ain't heard nobody ask that question. None of all those bloggers. I don't care. I don't care what site it is. Nobody's asked that question. Shadeeeslim just asked, what was it that made him done with her in the first place?
Right, because he had to make it clear that I was done with you. So I pretty much didn't care what you were doing. Why was he done with her?
Is there another body in the closet? Remember, you know, R. Kelly told us about the closet. Sorry to bring up R. Kelly at a time like this. But you know, we gonna focus on the music. We gonna focus on the music. We gonna focus on the music. R. Kelly told us about the closets. So yeah, I don't hear anybody talking about or asking about what was it that made him feel like he was, or what made him done with Jada in the first place? That's something I really don't hear anybody speaking of, which is crazy.
You know, so that's the first thing I want to know is like, why was he done
For
with
real.
her?
For real.
Because he had to make that really, really clear. Like, you know, I didn't want you.
For real.
You know, and then she said she just wanted to feel good. So maybe he was cheating and making, you know, as a woman, if you get cheated on, you feel like it's you, like you're not sexy enough, you're not pretty enough, like he's just lost interest. And then to find this young buck.
Young buck. Young buck. It's like when Stella got her groove back. You gonna find a young buck, he make you feel sexy again.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's giving you the attention you're not getting at home. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you the passion. It's reignited again. Like it hasn't been in years, you know what I'm saying? You feel it in the bottom of your stomach.
And you know, Will maybe like being distant, you know, don't want to, and then you got this other guy who's like, man, you everything I want. So you gonna be like,
damn. You know what I'm saying? You everything I want, sister.
Yeah. So then maybe when Will realize, like, damn, this young buck wants you.
The young buck. Young buck wants you. Well, he feel like he's like, damn, I got the competition, that young buck, boy. Especially if you're younger too. So MJ Cardona, I see you. What's up? I also saw Josie Caridi. I saw, you know what I'm saying, Umeta Yoko. You know what I mean? I see all y'all. It's all good. It's all good.
So,
but yeah, when that young buck, you know what I'm saying, and you know he got the stamina more than you got. You know what I mean? No matter who you are, you older. Will a lot older. You know what I mean? A young buck can go all night long now. A young buck go all night long.
Yeah, I was watching this
in decades.
I was watching this doctor show, right? And it was like your hand is how a man penis hang, right? So his 20s, he's like this. In the 30s, he's like this. Your 40s. So you know, Will is here.
I never heard that. You're so crazy. Oh, so this how a man penis hang over the years. So in your 20s, your penis be boing, boing. You be ready to go. In your 20s, men be ready to go. Boing. In your 30s, you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro, you gotta give me a little bit of time to work. You know what I'm saying? In your 40s, you gotta like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Man, once you get to your 50s and 60s, bro, you need that serious, that blue pill to pop it up again. Oh man, Shadeeeslim's in the building. If y'all didn't know, dog, Shadeeeslim. Emma, what's going on? I see you, sister. I see you, Emma. You know what's interesting too, also, what I don't hear a lot of people talking about Shadeeeslim is, as Jada being the mother and all this stuff coming out with the mother and now with the whole, like, you know, the kind of like subtle things about Will Smith or whatever and what he's done in the past, the children. This is all done in public. So all of a sudden, I don't even know if, like, so let's say, for example, if you're the children of Jada and Will, I don't know how much they know, but like, I'm assuming that they're probably like most children. Most of us, when we're children, we don't know our parents' sexual relationships. We have no clue. So to us, our parents are like the king and queen. Like, our parents can do no wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our parents are like faithful, and our parents are, you know what I'm saying? So for this to come out in the public, and now for people to be able to look at where were kids' names? Jaden and Willow?
Yeah. Willow and Jaden. And then, you know, Will has another son from his first wife, Trey. So Will has 3. Because he has Trey from his first wife, and then he has 2 with Jada. So Jaden and Willow.
Okay. All right. So not so much Trey, because, you know, that's not, you know, Jada's not his biological mother. But Jaden and Willow, are they, like, how are they looking at all this? Because they're like, well, god dang, like, our parents are fucking hoes. Like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? But because I even saw pictures of, like, August Alsina with the family. So he was like a family friend. So now you look
Right.
back and you're like, well, damn, Mom, like you told us he was a family friend. You've been fucking our family friend all this time? Damn. Like, does that make you look at your mom in like a different way? Like, it's like, damn, hold up. Because you know how when how a relationship happens and then like when a relationship ends or something like that, you think back and you can kind of picture like all that. You're like, you know what? I remember that time when he was doing this and I thought he was doing that. But now that I think about it, so now I wonder if Jaden and Willow, if the kids are like, you know what? One time, like August and Mom was in the kitchen. And when I walked in, they kind of like abruptly like moved away from each other. And you know what? At that time, I didn't think too much about. But now thinking back, And you know what? One time I was in the house one night, and it was like 4 in the morning, and Dad was out of town filming a movie, and I came downstairs to get something to eat, and I could have sworn that I saw out another guy's tennis shoes at the front door, and I was like, is that another guy's tennis shoes? So now all those different things are coming back in the heads of the kids. They probably started to remember all type of little signs that they missed before and stuff like that. But that has to be hard for them, you know?
I don't know. I don't know. It just shows, and what I think is that it maybe show them that how relationships can be, how like if they really care, that people can eventually make their way back to each other. So
That's
that
That's true.
Because I was just thinking the same thing, because sometimes we think of this fairy tale relationship, like especially with our grandparents, if they'd been together like 30, 40 years. We don't really see it as much today, but I know my grandparents, they were together for like 30, 40 years, married, so
yeah.
Now that I'm grown, and I think like, yeah, my granddaddy probably was out there slinging that beat,
Well,
yeah,
as you get older, we realize that relationships aren't the fairy tales that we, all of a sudden used to grow up thinking they were. Yeah. You realize that they're not.
Yeah, so it wasn't devastating to like my parents when they found out like they got other siblings and things like that, like have a whole nother family. And I think with them, this is probably not the first time their kids heard stuff like this.
That's true.
Because their parents are famous. So it's been rumored for years. Like I know that's one thing I have heard, like all the blogs are saying, is that it's been rumored for years that this is the type of relationship that they have. So maybe the kids are just like, oh, well, it's just another person coming out saying that, that my mom or my dad has, had a relationship, entanglement.
Entanglement. But the only difference would be this time the mom's actually admitting it.
Yeah.
That would be
but for me, I still wouldn't look at my mom no different.
Yeah.
Because maybe you could just separate, like my mom was a great mom.
Yeah.
And I have to look at her as a mom for me and not so much as a wife. Like, because you never know what, like we say, Will ain't speaking his dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's very true.
You know what made her have to go to the young buck. So,
gotta go to the young buck. Let me ask you this, because you brought a great point about the history of what's been said, what's been gossip about them over the years, with the whole thing with open relationship and swingers and things like that. What's interesting, what I don't hear a lot of people also talk about, is that with that whole situation, in the past, I think on one occasion, JADA has come out and said, "Oh, we weren't swingers. We're not." She was like, "Oh, we're not swingers." But you know what? When I think about her saying that, it makes me wonder this: was she doing that like lawyer trick of like saying an exact term? Because swinger might not be the same thing as an open relationship.
Right.
Like, as far as the definition goes. So maybe they've always had an open relationship, but they've not been swingers. But she's come out like before and said, "Oh, well, we're not swingers." Like, haha, people say we're swingers. Like, that's so funny. But maybe she was like, finding the right term for it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But maybe they had an open relationship, maybe sexually happy with other people, but maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Because she did say, well, you know, Will, you kind of was doing your stuff too. And Will's like, well, I got to get you back. I mean, but so maybe they didn't have an open relationship. Maybe it was just like one person cheated and the other person's like, well, I got to get you back and cheat. Or maybe it was like, you know, we have an open relationship, but it's tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got 3, I got to get 3. I got to get 3 on y'all. You got 3, I got to get 3 on you. You can't be outdoing me now.
I think it could be that. It can also be like, I know you and I, we talked about like a long time ago about can people really be married like longer than 20 years without having like, you know, a break or an affair or something. So if they said this happened like 4.5 years ago, and now they've been married 25 years, so then that was right around that 20-year mark when in their marriage, they were maybe feeling kind of lost or got comfortable or just feeling not appreciated.
Which happens a lot of times.
And things happen. But I just still need Will to confess like what he did to Jada. To make her go to the young
Because right here when you mess with Anti-Imperial and Shadeeeslim, aka Suicide 617, here you know we want equality across the genders. So if Will did something, Jada came out and said her dirt. What's up with Will? What's up with Will? You see what I'm saying? We ain't getting the equality that we looking for right now.
You just need to know. And it's just like, you know, and then maybe the women he has been with, they just gangsters. Like, okay, I already know what it is. You got to worry about me saying it. It's, you know, till we, you know, whatever. I already know. It may not never come out. And then, you know, men, y'all just try not to be as emotional, but you guys are kind of sensitive when it comes to that part.
Well, because Will, hold on. First of all, let me give a shout out. I saw Emma on here, Studio in the Groves. I saw Amelia A. Benji. I saw Cortland Ryan, the beautiful Cortland Ryan, and Dick just joined us. Also saw MacArthur Little. MacArthur Little was on here also. What's going on, y'all? It's all good. It's all good. Big out here. But that's very true, right? Because on the Red Table Talk, when she was saying all this, a couple of times Will's eyes got kind of like crazy looking, like he kind of looked like man, I could really like jump across this. He was looking kind of upset for a second. He held it off, you know, he's an actor, so he was able to act it off a little bit. But a couple of times the camera called him, he was kind of looking like
I know,
like, hold up, man. You know what? Speaking of that, I think maybe part of the problem is that I think what might have happened with Will is that I think he might have got kind of jealous. Because I think even if they have an open relationship or if they're having sex with other people or whatever, it's one thing, like it's easier to handle when you're like, you know what? You just went and had sex with somebody, because it's kind of like you're using the other person for their sexual body part. It's like, oh, he was just like a DICK to me, or like he was just a you know what I'm saying, or she was just a PUSSY to me. But Jada seems like she really had like an emotional connection and like a mental connection with August Alsina. So now it's like, well, hold up now. Like you really like started liking this guy. And so that puts it in a whole different perspective, because I think it's easier for guys to handle when it's just like, oh, she just got horny and wet and just used that guy for a live human dildo in a way. But if your girl starts to really develop feelings for that other person, then it's like, hold up now. Like, where do I stand as like your husband or whatever? I think we saw some of that because Will's face a couple of times kind of looked kind of crazy.
Yeah, but usually if a woman does step out, it's not just for...
It's not just, usually it's not just,
Yeah, so then that's why I think men really can't handle it when a woman does it to them, because for men it's probably physical. Like they can keep their emotions separate, but for women, you know, most women ain't gonna just be, you know, laying up with just anybody just to be like, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point, because you know, it's like if a man steps out, it's like it could be, for most of the time, you know, it does happen, but for most of the time, it could be just like a physical thing. He got horny, he was kind of drunk at a club one night, and something happened or whatever. But when it gets to a point, a lot of times where a woman steps out and starts to have like an affair or something like that, extramarital affair, something like that, it's like the man should be really worried, because she really probably has already made that connection, that emotional connection or mental connection with that other guy, for her to even take that step to put it into, like, turn it into a physical thing like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, first of all, they have to be connected mentally and emotionally, and then that transforms into that physical sexual connection.
Yeah, and then for a woman, in my opinion, for her to do it, it could be somebody that she could see herself like being with for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, okay, a wham bam, like,
thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Whatever. So then a guy can be like, okay, very intimidated, because this is somebody you probably think you want for the rest of
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? First of all, the hair looking good, Shadeeeslim. I'm just saying, you looking beautiful over there as always. You know what I'm saying? You looking beautiful, Shadeeeslim, as always. Your beautiful stuff is all good. Always good to see you. And you know what? Also, something else to kind of think about, which this is kind of already been like brought up a couple of times, but is that maybe Jada is still trying to chase that mental and emotional connection she had with Tupac. Maybe Tupac was her soulmate, and maybe Will Smith is like the closest thing that she can get to that, but he still doesn't fulfill it like fully. So she still has like that room to, no matter how much Will can fulfill her emotionally and mentally and even sexually, she still might have that space to where nobody will fulfill her like Tupac did. Because Tupac, let's just be honest. You know, Will Smith is a good guy and he's a cool guy. He's intelligent, stuff like that. But when you hear Tupac speak, it's a whole nother level. Like, it's a whole nother level. Like, you know what I mean? It's a whole nother level of intellectualism, of black empowerment. Like Will Smith could never reach that level. As far as just like the way Tupac delivered his messages and like how it was. It's just like, you know, it's just two different people. You know what I mean? Because Tupac in a way, he was like, he kind of could check every box for a female, because a lot of times, you know, whether females like to admit it or not, they love the good guy, but they also get turned on by the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad guy turns the female on. You know what I mean? So Will Smith might just be like too much of a good guy, to where like, yeah, I want to build a home with him and have children with him, but like Tupac still had that edge. But Tupac could still make beautiful music like Dear Mama. So he had that beautiful poetic side. So it's like, damn, this guy has like fucking everything. He has the beautiful side, the rough side. Like he'll like F-U-C-K me like a thug N-word, and he'll make love to me like a, you know, in a romantic way. So maybe, you know, she's still trying to search for whoever could fill that spot that Tupac left. Maybe Tupac was her soulmate, and maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah, and I think you most likely you're right, because I think if he would have wasn't killed, they probably would have ended up together. Like once he was ready to like settle down and really not be, you know, with a lot of women, I think Jada would have been with him. Yeah, so then Will probably been, because she's never denied how she felt about Tupac, never, ever. So I think Will just in the back of his mind, although he doesn't say it, it's just like he's been probably trying to compete with their whole relationship, and just don't know how to measure up. Like he could do all of that, but it's just in certain areas, he just couldn't. In my opinion, he just still seems a little he's not as serious as Tupac.
Yeah.
To me,
that's perfect.
He can't get to that. Like when we're talking about serious topics as far as the country, as far as women, as far as even Like Tupac used to talk about the
Black
censorship.
history, all type of stuff. Politics will just can't hit that spot that Tupac can. Tupac was like a little Malcolm X, man, you know what I'm saying? And no matter what Will could do, he'll never have that like aura, you know what I'm saying, that that Tupac has like that. So it's just, I mean, this is the thing, right? Sometimes it's not like the person is doing anything wrong. It's just like one person is one person, and this other person is this other person, and you were born to be who you were, and this person was born to be who they were, and you'll never be them.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like a lot of times it's just like you're not doing anything wrong. Like you're a great guy, but still you'll never be them. It's like that with so many things in life, like that with music. Like you'll just have, sometimes you'll have people that just have like that it factor. And it's like they're just born with that. Or somebody who has like who like speak really good. It's like, okay, you know, you can have 100 people come on and talk the same topic with the same information and the same details as somebody else, but there'll be somebody else that can just deliver it and connect with you in a way that other people can't with the same information.
Yeah.
And it's just like that sometimes. You just can't do anything about that.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that he just can't compete with. And I think for JADA, I think that's like a kind of like on a religious term, it's kind of like a soul tie with Tupac, that their souls were just so connected.
Perfect, yeah.
She's gonna just have to she's just gonna have to get over it herself, because there's nobody else gonna be able to feel that for her ever. So she's just gonna have to just be like, and maybe that's where they are now in their marriage. Like, look, I know I don't have Tupac. I know he's not even around to even be my friend.
Yeah.
So I just have to, you know, deal with, you know, with Will. That's who I chose to be with anyways. I think
and that's my life partner.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he might not be the love of my life, but he's my life partner. He's the one I bear children with. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's my best friend. You know, he may not be the love of my life, that was Tupac, but this is like the next best thing. He's gonna be my life partner. He's like my best friend, basically.
Yeah. And then I don't know. And I think maybe Will has just been competing with that, whether he wants to admit it or not, whether she even said it or made him feel like he had to compete. I think he's been trying to compete with that the whole relationship. And it may be nothing that she just ever said to him, like, okay, I need you to be like Tupac in this way. It's just him, like, seeing how she lights up when she talks about him, or when she remember him and she remember their, you know, relationship.
It doesn't hurt that Tupac is like such a cultural icon. So even if she talk about him, every time you turn around, it's like this motherfucker is all over the place. And then you can't listen to Tupac's music and not feel his emotion. And that's when he was sad, like, you know, Dear Mama, or White Man's World, or Brenda's Got a Baby, or anything like that. Or if he was angry, like in Hail Mary, or Hit 'Em Up, like his emotion. Let me tell you something. This is something that I say sometimes when I talk to, you know, artists that I write for or whatever. And it's like, it's all about your delivery. Because me, like, you know, and me, you were talking about this, a lot of my music is like poetry on top of music. You know, it's more poetry than it is rap, you know what I'm saying? But even though I may write the biggest, most poetic songs, I'll never connect like Tupac can. Because Tupac's lyrics aren't even that like pristine. Like, for example, the word I just used, pristine, Tupac doesn't even use words like that. His vocabulary is not like extensive like that, but he'll connect in a way that people that write, like me, that write these poetic songs, will never be able to connect, because it's just his spirit and who he was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, and that's rare to have somebody like that, to where you could take his words, and if you were to write them out, they're pretty simple, but for him to say them, it's like they touch much deeper than the longest, deepest, most poetic phrase can touch. And that's very difficult to do. And that's something that I've never really seen in like too many other people, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because just like you say, it's the delivery and it's the emotion behind it. You know, so it's just like his presentation, how he presented it. So you felt it. You felt the pain. You felt how how hurt he was about Brenda had a baby, and how, you know, dear mama, how he felt the love for black women and his mom, even though, you know, she wasn't, you know, she was on drugs and things, that you still felt that love. And it's genuine. It got to be genuine. So a lot of people, I don't know. I don't know if he wrote his own music, but like you say,
yeah, he did. He did write it.
Okay. So that's something that can't nobody do for you. Like if I'm a artist and I have you write my music, I still can't portray it because it's not my experience.
It's not
but
from
if
your
I
heart.
sit down and I just put my heart on paper and write it, and the way I sing it and the emotions that come from, because it's how what I actually experience is different. And that's the difference in him. It's like he saw all those songs he wrote about, he saw in the hood every day of his life he grew up. So it's like second nature to him. He didn't have to think about it. He was angry when the police came. He was angry, you know, when they mistreated, you know, blacks in his community. So that's how it was portrayed, because he lived it.
Exactly. And even further to this point, we're going to bounce back to Jada and Will for a second, but this is great. But even further to your point, like, I mean, Tupac, one time he had shot 2 off-duty cops.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
They were beating up a little black boy. They were beating up a little black boy. He shot them. Let me just say this real quick. For all the rappers today talking all that mess and all that, y'all talk all that mess. George Zimmerman still walking around. Y'all don't be out there shooting no cops. Tupac shot cops for beating up a little black kid. Like, there's nobody like Tupac in every element. Every list you can take off, there's just nobody like him, though. Just
because
nobody
the
like
thing is, it was his life. It wasn't made up. He wasn't trying to portray nothing that he wasn't. That was his life. And he just became famous and off his music because that was his life. That's how he lived.
Yep, absolutely. And you're so perfect. You're so right also about him writing, you know, straight from his heart, and that's how you know how he writes what he feels. Let me tell you, and I've said this before, I think to you. I don't know if I've said this over there, but when me and you have spoken, I've said this, and that is that for me to just, I do my best to just try to get close to that when I write for other people. You know, I write for so many other artists that I go above and beyond, out of my way, you know what I'm about to say, to where, like, when I first start working with a new artist, I take them out to dinner. I speak to them and try to learn their whole life story. Then I take all that back with me to the studio and I let it go into my brain and try to, like, picture myself in their life, how they grew up, were they abused, were they sexually abused, this is that, before I write the songs for them. And I try to do that, to try to get as close as possible, so that when I do write these songs for them, at least for some people out there, they'll be able to connect in some way, so that sense of truthfulness does connect. And from the artists I have worked with over the past 13, 14 years, they always come back and say, man, like, this song you wrote for me, like, made me cry. Because, like, you took everything that, like, I told you and that, like, it happened in my life, and you wrote it, like, just as good as I could have written it. And so it's interesting you say that, because I try to do my best to achieve that when I do write for different artists.
Yeah, I know that about you. You really take your time.
Shadeeeslim, aka Superstar 617. I love her. That's my girl right there. You guys, I want to give a shout out. I did see Lachey 2 come on. Lachey 2. As we get out of here, the last thing I want to touch on is what a lot of people are also not talking about yet is the brand, the Jada Pinkett Will Smith brand, which is open. You know, we're always open. We're honest. We're Red Table Talk. We don't hide anything. We're an open book. Like, that's their brand. But hold up. Have they been hiding stuff? Are they hiding more things? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. What's up with the brand now? This brand.
I still don't know what Will is doing. That's who I need to open up.
Shadeeeslim, hey, let me tell you something. And you know, when I cut this up, when I take this video and cut it up in the 1 minute things to put on Instagram, when this cut right here, this one we're talking about right here, I'm going to @Will Smith. So it goes, go to Will Smith, because I just want to say, Will Smith, Shadeeeslim is saying, nigga, what you hiding, nigga? Nigga, what you hiding, nigga? Shadeeeslim giving him the side eye. Will Smith, we talking to you. And you know what? I'm going to add Jada too. Jada, we got your back since you came out. You did your thing. We need Will at the red table talk. We need Will to bring himself to the red table talk and start to admit some of his things. But what do you think about their brand and their brand being open and honest and, you know, red table talk and hiding nothing and open book? What do you think about this now and their brand that it took Alcasal Sr. to come out and say something that forced them to come out? They didn't do it on their own. Alcasal Sr. forced them to come out and say something. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you're correct when you talk about their brand of being like open, like they talk about everything. You know, that's the reputation they want to have, is that they talk about everything. There's no secret. You guys want to know, but I think they're open when it's brought to them.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I don't think I ever heard them come out with just a controversial topic.
Like, hey guys, guess what? We got something to tell you tonight. We've been cheating. Like they don't come out and say that. But what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, which is good. It's kind of like they don't hide like a politician, right? Like politicians, when they get caught, they come out and say, you know, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like politicians be getting caught red-handed. They be like, cocaine? What do you mean? I was about to bake some chicken. This is flour. What are you talking about? Like politicians get caught with the cocaine and be like, oh, this is flour. I was about to cover the fries. Just call me Mr. KFC. Call me the Colonel. You know, the politicians. So you do make a great point, which is that when something does come out, at least they come out and they're honest about it from the start, which is a great point. And a lot of people aren't like.
Yeah, like, because even when issues have came out in the past about their children, they didn't bring it out. But if they were like a trending topic, they were like, okay, well, let's go ahead and clear it up so people don't have to make assumptions about us. But I've never seen them just bring out and be like, guess what? We got something to tell you, you know, guys.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But you know,
come out and that they were divorcing, that they were broken up. We didn't know about it until like recently.
It came out. That's new information. No, for sure. You're absolutely right. They don't hide things, which we shouldn't penalize them for not being perfect, because they're still far beyond what others are doing. Because even most like other celebrities, I don't care if it's I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say Beyonce, but that's a bad example because Beyonce's kind of she probably would be truthful also. Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, that's a good example. Let me give a shout out to 078.Ryan. I saw him come on 078.Ryan. It's all good, but that's a good example. I was gonna say, you know, unlike, you know, I was gonna say if like something came out about Beyonce, you know, she wouldn't come out and say nothing. But then in my mind, I was like, well, maybe she would because she's pretty honest. But I said, you know what? Remember when that whole elevator thing happened with Solange? And it was like Solange was upset with Jay-Z because Jay-Z had cheated. They never came out and talked about that, really. All she did was say in her song, you know, a billion elevators. What is that song? What does she say in her song? Don't shit goes down when there's $1 billion in the elevator, whatever. Yeah, whatever. That's the only thing she said.
Becky with the good hair.
And like, Becky, she throws subliminals. She doesn't come out and do like a red table like, look, Jay-Z cheated. Becky with the good hair is this person. This is what happened. So we have to give Will and Jada a big shout out. I'll add them on this too. We have to give Will and Jada a big shout out because they are the only celebrities that do come out and they are open about it. They don't just hide it like every other celebrity does, and politician.
Yeah, because not just their marriage, but anything that they've had to go through in their life. If they're trending, they come out and they share it. They tell you their version of it, their opinion about it, and then it is what it is from that point. But you never have to guess what it is.
Which is good. I see Marco Self Francis came on, man. No, this is good, man, and I appreciate you being here. Don't go nowhere, you know what I'm saying? But we want to get out of here. We appreciate all you guys being here. I'm gonna get your closing statements in a second. After I do this, I'm gonna get your closing statements. I am Old Dog Anti-Imperial to chill, you guys. She is Shadeeeslim, aka Superstar 617. You know what I'm saying? My heart and soul. Old Dog Anti-Imperial to chill, one name, three personalities. Old Dog Anti-Imperial to chill. Old Dog's kind of like a thug. He's a little bit gangster, sexually explicit. Old Dog is like, you know, he's a nerd, he's a dork, and things like that. But you can't take him seriously. He doesn't take himself seriously. That is Old Dog. The second term is Anti-Imperial. Anti-Imperial is more tied into who I truly am. That's why Anti-Imperial is in the center. Old Dog, Anti-Imperial, the chill. Anti-Imperial is all about upliftment, education, international political science, micro and macroeconomics, philosophy, psychology, sociology, physiology, and things like that. That is Anti-Imperial. And the last term is the chill. And the chill is a hopeless romantic, all about falling in love, raising a family, and things like that, Shadeeeslim. This is In My Mind. It's not diverse. It's in my mind, because in my mind it's all about more current events and things like that. So why don't I have the hat on for In My Mind? I was trying to find my hat, man. I couldn't find my dang hat. So it's around here. So where's my hat? I know I had. 'Cause I did an In My Mind episode recently.
Don't worry about it. It's over with now. What you looking for? It's
In my mind. Just pretend like I put it on. I'm kind of laid right now, so I ain't gonna put it on. You know what I'm saying? But just pretend like I put it on. You know what I mean? That's why you have it on. I don't want to mess my hair. I don't want to mess my hair up, because you know I want it to look as good as Superstar 617's hair. Superstar 617 got that hair laid. So like, if I find my do-rag though, I'll put it on and make it official in my mind real quick. If I find my do-rag, it's all good. Who is that? Lena, aka Dot Leo. Lena, a.k.a. Leo, I see you. It's all good. But this is In My Mind, you guys. We call this In My Mind because we focus on current events and situations that are happening currently around the globe, you guys. Things that are in my mind, you know, in my mind. It's all good. You guys, here on In My Mind, we have one rule and one rule only, and that is that you guys remain respectful of the environment of In My Mind as a whole, and you guys remain respectful of one another. We can agree, we can disagree. Just remain respectful of the environment of In My Mind as a whole, and remain respectful of one another. I wouldn't want to block anybody here, but I will if I have to. But I never have to do that with you guys, because we're always respectful and we're always good. Who is that? Who is that? Angelia Beth. Angelia Beth. Angelia Beth. Angeleliabeth. Angelia Beth. I see you. It's all good. But definitely, you guys, here on In My Mind, understand that when I am doing things in my mind, I want to know what's on your mind. I just came up with that, Shadeeeslim. I never said that before in my life. Look at that. I'm just flowing with it. I'm just flowing. I don't even know. I'm just flowing. You know what I'm saying?
That was good.
Daily historical post. So if you guys would get bored or just want to see what happened on that particular day, going back decades, going back centuries, going back thousands of years, you guys can check out my daily historical posts. I post those on Instagram and TikTok every single day, you guys. In order to get in touch with me on Instagram and TikTok, you can get in touch with me at anti_imperial. It's right here on the shirt at anti_imperial, you guys. Don't get that underscore, anti_imperial. It's right there at the shirt. Anti_imperial. It's all good. She says right there, she's pointing up, anti_imperial on Instagram and TikTok. The only difference with YouTube, you guys, is that there's no underscore on YouTube. There's no underscore. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I'm gonna be going up and down. Like I feel like Jada riding August Alsina. I ain't gonna add that one. I ain't gonna. Shadeeeslim. Shadeeeslim. It's all good, you guys. We appreciate it. Before we get out of here, Shadeeeslim, anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to say, Shadeeeslim? Any last thoughts?
Nah, I think you said it all, my brother. I just want to. Two things I want to know. Why was Will done with Jada?
Whoop,
And what did you do, Will?
whoop. Will Smith. Will
And
Smith.
Prime
And Beautiful
Money,
Jewel giving
once
us
more.
laughing emojis. We love you, Beautiful Jewel. Will Smith. Shadeeeslim done called you out. She want to know two things. What are those two things again, Shadeeeslim?
Why were you done with Jada?
Whoop,
And what did you do?
whoop. We need Will Smith to come to the Red Table Talk. We need Will Smith at the Red Table Talk. Shadeeeslim done called him out. Hey,
Yeah,
Shadeeeslim. Yup.
my girl
Called him
has
out.
laid it out there. My girl Jada has laid it out there for the whole world to see. They made songs. They have made dances. They made commercials pretty much.
The Jamaicans that came out, Jamaicans that got involved, and made remixes and all. It's all good.
Okay, so now we need to know.
We need to know what's going on. We appreciate it, man. Shadeeeslim, I love you. Beautiful Jewel, I love you, beautiful Jewel. We love you, sister. Beautiful Jewel. And Beautiful Jewel, you're still in our prayers. Beautiful Jewel, don't think that and Beautiful Jewel knows that I'm always honest when I say things like this. And it's not like, so when I think about Beautiful Jewel and what she went through and her mother and grandmother, I don't think about them every day. You know what I'm saying? But probably about one time a week, about once a week, twice a week, they do cross my mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know how other people get up here, Shadeeeslim, they'll be like, you know, I think about you every day. You be like, you know, damn well, you think about me no damn every day. I don't lie about things like that, you guys. I'll tell you exactly how I feel, exactly the truth about it. I've gotten in trouble in the past with past girlfriends about that type of stuff because they'll be saying things like, "Hey, I missed you today," and I'd be like, "I appreciate that." "Didn't you miss me?" I'd be like, "I was so busy, babe. Like I didn't miss nobody today." But most people would say, "Oh yeah, I missed you." They just say it just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Anti-Imperial, I ain't with that. Well, I feel the truth. You know what I'm saying? If I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. Who is that? Go get Teacher Rich. Oh Lord. Who had 921? It's all good. It's all good. Good to see y'all. Queen 921. Beautiful Jewel says exactly. It's all good. But definitely, you guys, definitely Beautiful Jewel, you're still in our prayers, and Shadeeeslim, Super 617 will be able to, vouch for that also. I know you're in her prayers, and I definitely do think about them at least once or twice a week, and I think about you. All right, appreciate that. Shadeeeslim, any last comments, Shadeeeslim?
Nah, I think we got in enough trouble for tonight.
We figured. Yo, me and Shadeeeslim need to start a podcast or something. Me and Shadeeeslim need to do this non-stop. Me and Shadeeeslim. Yeah. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything. Me and Shadeeeslim, we gotta find a way to do that one day. We gotta link up and do like a daily or weekly podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
You guys, we will have Shadeeeslim, aka Super 617, on here whenever she can come on as much as possible. All right, so I'll continue to reach out to her and see her schedule, so we'll get to that. You guys, we appreciate it. We love you guys out there. You guys take care. Have a great day or great night, depending on where you are in the world. Shadeeeslim, I love you, sister. Super 617, thank you very much. All right, mwah, love you, sister. Beautiful Jewel, we love you. You guys take care. All right, have a good night. Peace. Bye-bye. Bye.